Hi there, I'm Scaldrew. You may remember me from such videos as Hangman, Link's Awakening DX, and... Anyway, Saints Row 2. Saints Row 2 is a game developed by Volition and published by the now late THQ, which was released in 2008 on consoles and in early 2009 for the PC. In this violent sandbox game, you play as a nameless but not voiceless protagonist who, after getting unsuccessfully blown up, awakens to find his, or her, as you can choose to be a lady's, city to be nothing but a shell of its former self. The nameless protagonist, whom we'll call Phil, then escapes prison by the aid of a young man named
Carlos,
and then sets out to reclaim what is rightfully his by means of
the wake-up call.
thus ending the tutorial and giving you the reins to your own destiny. The city of Stillwater is now waiting for you to wreak havoc upon it. There's lots to do, and you can choose to do it now, later, or not at all. You can partake in activities which yield substantial rewards and unlocks, or not. You can dress yourself in a hot dog suit, drive around like a lunatic and ragdolize the city's inhabitants, or not. You can have a sex change operation, rob a liquor store and get in a shootout with the local police force, eventually get overwhelmed and succumb to the many bullet wounds all over your body, or not. The game is all about choosing where to go or what to do next. Stillwater is very inviting in that you want to explore every nook and cranny, and the game rewards you for doing just that. There's collectible CDs all over the city, there's gang tags over which you can spray your own gang sign or logo, and there are even a bunch of hidden areas you can stumble upon which are never mentioned to you by the game itself. The city is incredibly varied, one could even say multicultural if drug addicts were considered a culture. There's a nice part of the city where everything's clean, there's no gang violence and the sun is always shining. But there's also the shady parts of the city where the sun isn't shining all that brightly. There's gang violence and drug addicts everywhere and it's generally not a nice place to be. You'll find yourself avoiding these ugly parts of town in favour of the motorways and less ugly parts of the city. The game really draws you in, not only because it's fun to drive an armoured vehicle into ongoing traffic, but also because of the attention to detail that's been put into it. As previously mentioned, some people are much better off than others, which really makes the city feel alive. You feel bad for the drug addicts and slaves to prostitution right up until you use their bodies for target practice. All that aside, there's a variety of activities for you to take part in. There's the ridiculous and fun ones, there's the solid and entertaining ones, and there's the ones that get a tad obnoxious if you don't beat them in one try. Every activity has got 6 levels of scaling difficulty. Every third and final stage of an activity yields a permanent reward, be it a weapon, a decrease in damage taken from a particular source, or even unlimited ammo for a certain weapon type. These rewards all help make the missions a lot easier. So it's up to you if you want to hold your breath in a gunfight because you're running out of ammo, or if you want to just run at your enemies knowing their guns won't hurt you as much as they otherwise would. After beating each level of an activity, you get money and respect. Respect is gained by completing activities, by performing tricks on the road, by killing enemy gang members, by expressing your extreme levels of gangster through graffiti. In short, a lot of, dare I say, activities grant you respect. You need respect to enter these story-based missions and gang strongholds. Beating the missions will progress you through the story and open up the city even more, while beating the stronghold missions will simply give you more control over the city and as such grant you more hourly income. As is expected from a violent sandbox game, there are a great number of weapon shops that will sell you more and more guns as the game goes on. Naturally, there are plenty of safe houses, or cribs, in which you can change your weapon loadout, change clothes, collect money you gain from your hourly income, or play the endgame zombie mode. Some of these cribs are only available to purchase, while others you get only from beating certain missions. You can also customize the crib itself to look more dope-yo. Customization is a big thing in Saints Row 2. The most notable example of this is the player character, whom you can manipulate in every way you see fit. You can choose to be a man, a woman, or even a woman with a manly voice, beard, and... There's a wide variety of clothing shops through which you can determine your own style and dress up. You can even put a logo on certain pieces of clothing and change its colour to fully customize that piece of clothing. This again illustrates the amount of freedom there is in this game. You're not told to explore these options, meaning you can choose to look around or never enter a single clothing shop. I always find it fun to rob the store clerks if they didn't have what I wanted.
Open the register. I'm sorry I couldn't find anything to cover up your tiny penis. Oh,
You come messed around?
What a bitch! Oh, you rough.
Oh! 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 Besides clothing shops, there's also the chop shops that allow you to customize, or pimp, if you will, motorized land vehicles. Doing this not only makes for better and faster cars, but also increases your style level. The higher your style level gets, the more people on the street will appreciate you and pay you compliments. You also get more respect from doing missions or activities if you've got a higher style level. So we've established that the gameplay is bat-droppings insane in a good way. How then does the story compare? The story is the typical start from the bottom, work your way up to the top story, found in most violent sandbox games. You are the leader of a gang called the 3rd Street Saints, except for the fact that the gang pretty much fell apart after you got blown up at the end of the last game. It's been several years since then. New gangs have taken the place of the old ones, and each is as devoid of morality and deranged as the next. There's the Sons of Samdi, a bunch of voodoo god-worshipping lunatics who like selling drugs almost as much as drug addicts like taking them. There's the Brotherhood, a gang of pea-brained knuckleheads who enjoy violence, big cars and loud music, also mullets. And finally there's the Ronin, a Japanese-inspired gang that's all about honor, respect and strip clubs. After setting up headquarters with your old pal Johnny Gat, you'll be able to choose which missions you do first. As each gang storyline is independent from one another, you can pretty much blitz through the Brotherhood missions before having to do any of the other missions. The game never forces you to do X amount of Ronin missions before you can do Y amount of Samdi missions, but again allows you to choose freely between the 3 individual storylines. The rationale behind Phil's master plan is that if you cripple the other gangs and steal their stuff in doing so, your gang will in turn grow larger and look more powerful in comparison. It also helps that you pretty much eradicate the other gangs by the end of the game. And hey, it works! At the end of the game, every gang is pretty much gone and the Saints are once again the biggest gang in town. And boy, is it worth it. This game is absolutely great. The controls and performance on the PC is less than optimal, but the story it tells and the fun you'll be having playing this game really excuse the poor PC port. There are some genuinely heartfelt moments in the story. The characters stand out as individuals, you love the ones you're supposed to love and hate the ones you're supposed to hate. The game's got a great sense of humor and a great sense of pacing as the city opens up to you gradually. You're not all powerful right from the start, and you slowly but surely become more resourceful the further into the game you get. In short, it's an amazing experience, and if you haven't already, you should pick it up and play it for a few hundred hours to get the most out of it. Thank you so much for watching this video on Saints Row 2. If you enjoyed watching this video, why not give me a thumbs up and tell me what you liked about it in the comments. If you'd like to be notified of when my next video comes out, why not click subscribe? Thanks again for watching and have a nice day.